Hello everyone and welcome. Welcome to another live. Big day today. I have finally launched the brand new, oh so gorgeous, the Mama Manual website. My old one had been there for 20 months or so, ever since the beginning of this. And although I loved it, I could see that it lacked a little more direction. So after getting to know you better, I started to take note of what you needed. And so this new website was built in my head and on paper and inside my Google Docs. And today I am very proud to launch it and say that it's just as I imagined it would be and so much better. And I'd like to thank you all for all the website visits and shares, because today has been an incredible day for website traffic, and also all the lovely comments that you've sent to congratulate me on the new website. And I do hope you enjoy it. So, the topic for today, let's start with this live. I hope you're all doing mighty well. So since last Friday I blogged about sports and kids, today I thought I would talk about how I keep myself active. Now this has changed as I have changed, as our routines have changed, as we've gone from 1 to 2 kids as well. And I'd like to let you know up front that I'm no hardcore gym goer, and I'm not the type of gal who is doing fitness classes every single day. It's just not my priority right now, and I choose to keep myself active instead. So I'm sure that we have all types of ladies in here, those who are actively training and I admire so much, those that maybe take it a little bit easier, those that choose to be active like me just to keep fit and healthy. And I'm going to ask to see what type of activity you do as well, because I'm curious. But anyhow, for me, keeping myself moving absolutely works. So this week and last week as well, I've seen a lot of new faces and new follows onto the Mama Manual Facebook page. So this could be the first live that you're joining us here, and if it is, just let me know. I'd like to know if it's the first time you're tuning in, and you might not know much about me. So just a little bit of an introduction. My name is Nakita and I run the Mama Manual blog and social media pages. And my mission in life is to empower busy moms just like you to live their best life, especially when you make use of the time management strategies that I like to teach throughout my content. So, you knew it was coming, I just mentioned. I would love to know, what kind of sports do you do? How active are you? Do you walk? Do you run? Do you jog? Do you go to the gym? What sort of activities do you do to keep yourself active? As I said, I am quite active. I'm not one to sit still. However, I don't train intensively. I love watching people who do. I admire these people and these moms who wake up at 5 a.m. and make it their priority. I'm up quite early as well. I'm up at 5:15, 5:20 a.m. But I'm not doing any sports in the morning. So you might have watched my other lives, or you've tuned into other blog posts or things like that. But in the morning, I choose to get myself ready, do some work, and then switch to mommy mode for a while until the kids are off to school and I'm back at work again. So that's me in the morning. But I do know quite a bit of people who wake up early and make this effort to attend classes. And if it makes you feel great, good. So I'm just gonna say hello to some of the faces who are over here, because when I'm talking by myself in my kitchen during my live, I love to see all these faces, so I don't feel like I'm alone over here. So mamas, please do comment and send your likes and emojis. In the meantime, I'm just going to see who's watching. So hi Roberta, hi Claudia, hi Nolene, and Nolene says, very nice website. Thank you, Nolene. And hi to Katya and Avichka, who I know is training very intensively. I don't know if it's every day, but you're one of the mamas that came to mind when I was talking about this. And hi Bernadette, and hi Davinia. So the topic for today, just in case you've just joined us, is how I keep myself active. And my chosen activities or sports or whatever you want to call it have changed as I have changed, as our routines have changed. And of course, also when Nina was born, we became busier, so that changed as well. I'm no hardcore gym goer. Oh my goodness, what a tongue twister. I love to keep myself moving because it makes me feel good, and well, most of all, you know, it distresses me as well. But anyhow, I'll go into further detail soon. So my name is Nakita. I run the Mama Manual blog and social media pages, and my mission in life is to empower busy moms just like you to live their best life. So let's kick this topic off. First of all, why do I keep myself active? This is something that you can comment on as well, because I know that there are people who keep themselves active purely because of the way they look, which is fantastic. You go, girl. There are other moms who do it to de-stress. There are other moms who do it to lose weight. So before I decided to lose some weight, and I'll tell you about that as well, I never used to be active. So I remember myself when I used to go to school, trying to skive PE lessons all the time, which was a pity. I hated sports, I hated being active, I hated moving. And yes, that was me. And then after, like when I was about 13, 14, 15, started growing up, I started putting on weight. So I became a little chubby, and I wasn't very happy about it, and my confidence levels, although you couldn't tell when you spoke to me, but my confidence levels were dwindling very fast. So I decided I would try to start eating healthily and start to move a little bit because I wanted to lose weight. So that was the point when I decided to start doing some exercise. Of course, when I started doing exercise, and I started off, I remember I tried gym, but I didn't like it. So I tried it for a while, but it wasn't me. I found it very boring. And then I switched to walking, fast walking, jogging, and that fit me much better because I could go out in the fresh air. We used to live in Aura, so you know, I was running by the sea. And I had company as well some days because I used to go like with my mom or with a friend, so that suited me better. And when I started exercising, I realized that the weight started falling off quicker. So before, whereas I was just eating healthily, I remember myself cooking my own meals as well because I wanted, it's not that my mom didn't cook healthily, but when you're trying to lose weight, and I had quite a good source of knowledge because I used to have home economics lessons, so those really helped. I really wanted to cook and eat the right food, so I used to just cook for myself. And so the weight started falling off when I started exercising, and I felt better mentally. You know, you feel more in control. It's de-stressing, and especially after that run and after that jog and that shower, the hour or two that follow are the best. I felt stronger as well, both physically and mentally. And it very quickly became part of my routine because on the days that I missed my jog, I used to do it about 5 or 6 times a week. I used to feel like my feet used to drag, no energy levels. It used to give me energy as well. I just used to feel very unmotivated, completely unmotivated when I missed my jog. So back then, I could afford to do it daily or almost daily, and I could afford just leaving the house and running to my heart's content. No one used to be waiting for me at home. I mean, no kids, you know, no husband, and no one's depending on me. And I used to do it quite well. And of course, today I have had to adapt to a different lifestyle because, as you know, when you have children in the house, you cannot just leave and go jogging because, of course, first of all, there needs to be someone home to take care of them. And my husband is quite active, and I admire him so very much, but he's out of the house in the morning jogging, so even if I had to decide to do that, I couldn't just leave the house, you know, we'd have to make a plan between us. So when kids come onto the scene, of course, it's completely different. Now, where I am today is I do yoga once or twice a week. I try to do it twice a week, but sometimes I can't help it because I've got something else that evening, so then I do it once a week. And to those of you who have never done it, you might think that you're not being active at all, but it's not that easy, you know. There are a couple of poses which I cannot do and a couple of others which I cannot do well, and you're stretching and you're moving and you get your heart rate up and it's got a lot of benefits, but you do move, and I feel good after I do it. Also, of course, with a kid who's aged 4, who's very active herself, I'm running after her all the time, and we do a lot of dancing at home, which is fun. So we just move the sofa, put on songs, and just jump and dance and be silly. And we also do yoga together, which is fun. Of course, Nina's attention span is not very long, but we usually manage to do it for about 15 minutes or so. And when possible, I try to, I track my steps. I'm wearing my Fitbit. So I track my steps, and at least I try to do my 10,000 steps a day. It's not always doable, especially when I'm prioritizing something else, because you know how life is. At some points we prioritize exercise, at other points we prioritize work, at other points we might prioritize school stuff. For example, exams are coming and you need to be there with your kids sitting down on the table every day. So things change, but I try to stick to 10,000 steps, and at least if I don't make my 10,000 today, because it looks like I'm not gonna, I'm only at 6,000, I'll make sure I make them tomorrow. So I try to balance whatever it is. So I know that there are some new faces, so I'm just gonna have a little break, have a sip of water as well, and just say hello to all the lovely ladies who have just joined us. So hi Ilaria, hello to Bernice and Roseanne, and Charlene, hello. Thank you, Charlene. Charlene says you look great, thanks. So hello Lori. Hello, Shana, who says, I can't live without exercise and sport. What kind of exercise do you do, Shana? And Joanna, and hello, Maria Pia, and hello to Maria, and Marie-Louise, and is that Else? I'm not quite sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, and I hope I am, but if I'm not, I'm so sorry. I know you are in my 5 days to quicker meals challenge, and we've been chatting quite a bit, so I hope I'm getting it right. Hate it when I get names wrong, but happens. Hi Nat, hello Claudine, who's sending me kisses. Those are for you. And I think I've said hello to everyone. So, and hello Silvana and Charlene, and hello Jasmine. And Nat says, hello Nakita, I find it difficult when it is cold to exercise outside. I'd rather have, to be honest, just my 2 cents, I'd rather have cold weather than warm weather, to be honest, because you get so sweaty and tired when it's hot that I'd rather do it when it's cold. You know what I find helps, Nat? Because the thing is, the worst part is getting started, you know, just walking out the door and starting your walk or your jog or whatever. Because once you're there, okay, it might be very intense, and at some points you might say, oh my goodness, I just want to die. I'd rather not be here now. But most of the time, you're glad that you've got it done. And when you finish, you feel like you're glad you've did it as well, because you feel really good after a good exercise session. So what I find really works is that as soon as you get home from after work, or if you're a stay-at-home mom, at some point throughout the day, you need to get changed into your exercise clothes. Put your trainers behind the door. If you're dressed and ready to go out, I can assure you that 9 times out of 10, it will be so much easier to just leave and get it done. Imagine you've had a shower and you're in your comfy clothes and it's cold outside. I don't really think that you would feel like doing your exercise. But if you're dressed in your sports clothes, shoes behind the door, and you're ready to go, when it's time, you're like, yeah, let's get this done, you know? I'll be back and I'll shower and I'll relax later. So Nat, try and put on your exercise clothes and see if you can get it done better, okay? I want to know as well. So I mentioned that in between when I started exercising to where I am today, there were a lot of changes. So I'm just going to go through the different stages in my life and give you a few ideas of what I used to do, so that maybe you can apply some exercise or moving activity to your life as it is today. So when Yannick was about 5 years old and I didn't used to drive yet, my mom used to pick up Yannick in the morning and take him to school. So at that point, what I used to do is I had quite a flexible job as well. So I used to go in late, or well, not late, but I could go in at any time I wanted as long as I put my hours in. So I used to have the time to go jogging in the morning after Yannick was picked up. So I would be ready dressed in my sportswear, and I still have these weights which I buckled to my legs, and I had weights which I held in my hands. And I used to go for a 30-minute jog every morning, Monday to Saturday. Not Saturday, I used to skip Saturdays sometimes if I'm out on Friday night, but most of the time I used to do it 6 days a week. And that was, I think, the period in my life where I was the fittest, because jogging and running for 30 minutes a day with weights consistently helped me tone my muscle. I lost weight as well, so I was looking fantastic. But anyhow, I was very young as well, so I was only 24 years old, which makes a difference. Or even 23, because I think I got my license when I was 24. But anyhow, something like that. Of course, when you're younger, it's easier to lose weight, to tone up. So of course, today, I mean, it's a little bit more of a challenge, of course. And then when I remember we had moved to a bit of a larger place, and Yannick was getting a bit older, so he was coming home with homework. He used to go to catechism lessons. We used to try and involve him in some extracurricular activities. So life got busier. So at that point, and I was driving as well, so mom wasn't picking up Yannick any longer. I didn't have any time alone in the morning. But at that point, I remember I thought we would buy an air walker. So at least I could move in the house while Yannick was there. So we got the air walker. I remember the apartment was quite big, so we put it in the living room, which we didn't use that much anyway. And what I used to do is used to come home after work, settle down Yannick, and then allow him some screen time and some playtime next to me while I went onto the air walker for 30 minutes daily. I used to watch a series. I had my tablet and I used to put it on the screen, and I used to do my air walker for 30 minutes a day. So that worked well as well, and I kept up my air walker exercise. But sadly, when we moved to Njar, I first kept the air walker because it's quite bulky, and I kept it in Nina's room now. I mean, at that time she wasn't even born, so her room was like a box room. So I used to leave it in there, get my exercise done, fantastic. But of course, when I got pregnant and we needed the room, we had to sell it. So I had to clear the room and I had to sell the air walker, and sadly that was the end of my air walking phase. So after Nina was born, of course I used to walk a lot as well when I was pregnant. That I loved. But then after she was born and I was on maternity leave, I used to go to Zumba classes twice a week. I used to go twice a week in the evening. So Neil used to come home from work, we used to switch, and I used to go to my classes. And also 2 times a week, my dear grandma used to come to my house so we could spend a bit of time together. She used to help me out with Nina as well. And as soon as she arrived, I used to go for a 30-minute jog in the morning. That really helped me. And I felt that, like, with classes 2 times a week and my jog 2 times a week, I was pretty much feeling better after the pregnancy. I tend to take a long while as well to lose the weight. So I felt like I was at least trying my best to lose it. And of course, mentally, you know what it feels like being home with a newborn 24/7 or almost. So that helped me get out of the house, put on my favorite tracks, and just run, run and let it out, distress, and just be myself without having a baby next to me all the time. Then it was time to go back to work. So of course, no time for classes, and let's not say no time for classes. Let's say that I did not prioritize them. I did not prioritize the classes because with a newborn at home, a family to care for, there was Yannick, my husband, myself, my job, the house. There was a lot. So I preferred to give my attention to other things. But I used to follow some YouTube videos, and I used to get some exercise done at home. So at least I used to move a little bit while I was at home. And also during the weekend, Neil and I used to put Nina on her pushchair and just go for a long walk. So at least I was moving, not just living a sedentary lifestyle. Another break and some hellos, I think. So hello Daniela, hello Debbie, hello Melanie, Amanda, and Nat Attard. Hi Nat, she says, thanks, I'll try my best. Yes, do try that tip, let me know. And Karen says, love sportswear. I do too, actually. So Shanna has got back to us and told us what kind of exercise she indulges in. So Shanna says, short jogs in summer, long hikes in winter. I play volleyball with Imjar. Oh, another local. Used to go to the gym every day early morning. As you said, I had to stop when I had a son. Things change. Our priorities change. It's okay. You've found your ways to keep active, Shannon. That's fantastic. And Abigail says that she's joined now and she's been watching me a while. Rachel, I wish I could have time and willpower. I hate to break it to you, Rachel. I'm going to be very honest. It's not important enough for you. I'm going to be brutally honest. But if you wanted bad enough, you would do it. So think about what your priorities are right now. Be honest with yourself. If it's not a priority, it's not a priority. Don't feel like you have to. This is not everyone's priority. But think about the things you do and the priorities that you have. See that your priorities are in order. If you'd like to do it, I'm sure you can find 30 minutes a day, even if you do something at home. But if it's not your priority, you don't need to feel bad about it. Hey, you have other priorities, that's fine. So that's my advice to you. Just stay happy. Yay! So Elsie, I'm saying your name correctly. Happy to be here online with you. Same here. Bernice says, get a dog. You'll do 10K a day. True, because I think Bernice spots me outside in my car, and she's walking, and I'm in my car twice a week, I'd say, and she's walking her dog every single day, and that's a great way to keep healthy, actually. So hello Charmaine, and hello Jasmine. Okay, I think I've said hello to everyone, and hello to Audrey. And Martina says, I used to be very active before I found out I was pregnant. Now that my daughter is 16 months old, I cannot get into a routine with regards to fitness. I guess I need some motivation. Perhaps I need a challenge. Do you consider setting up a fitness challenge? Actually, that's not a bad idea, Martina. This challenge is doing so well. I've been thinking about the number of challenges that I can organize. So they're very time consuming, so I can't say that I can just organize one a month. But if you ladies have any ideas for any challenges, send me a message. If you're in the group, you know why I'm so excited about challenges. Great idea, Martina. I can't say I'm going to forget about it. So hi, Audrey. And Audrey says, no, Alexia, actually. Hello, Alexia. Alexia says, I used to go for long fast walks or jogs for an hour and a half every day. I used to go to Zumba as well, but I stopped everything since I was pregnant with my first, which was 5 years ago. I miss exercising regularly. I was going to a PT part-time, I think. I'm not quite sure though. After my second was born, during the time, my eldest was at school and I used to take her with me. No, so that's not part-time. Okay, I didn't get that, sorry. So maybe you can clarify. Everyone else might have got that, so let me know if you have, because I haven't. I'm planning going for 30 minutes walks this week at around 8:30 p.m. when the kids will be with my husband. We'll try to do this in the morning after dropping them at school. I really miss my exercise routine. Alexia, I'm going to go continue my live soon, and I'll let you know other different things that I did. You might not be prioritizing an active full hour a day, going to a class, or running, but there are little ways that you can make changes. So don't give up. And if you want to find the motivation to step outside, I already mentioned that putting on your exercise clothes is one of them. And another idea that I can give you is that you can leave a special activity to pair with your exercise. For example, I mentioned that I used to use the air walker. Now, yes, I did love my exercise. I used to love to move. I loved the effect it had on me. But of course, it wasn't like I was raving to go every single day. So what did I do? I chose a series. At that time, I remember I was watching Jane the Virgin. Fabulous series if you haven't watched it. But I used to leave it only for the time that I used to exercise on my air walker. So I wasn't allowed to watch it at any other time. So being so excited to watch Jane the Virgin, I used to actually make myself step onto the air walker so I could watch it. So you can do the same for walking or jogging. You can choose a podcast, you can listen to an audiobook, you can listen to your favorite tracks. Just don't do it when you're at home or doing another activity. Reserve it just for exercise. And I guarantee you, this really works if you can find something that you love. So try it and let me know. Daniela. And Daniela says, pregnant with my third. Congratulations. Wow. I'm going to try my best this time around to start exercising as soon as I have the go-ahead. Yes, I'll use my dog as an excuse to go for a walk. That's a pretty amazing excuse because, of course, dogs need walking. So if you have a pet, it's a great idea. So let us continue with the live. So when Nina was about, I'd say 10 months, 11 months old, 1 year old, I'm sure that you've been through this. My daughter went through the phase of, she used to want to walk, but she couldn't. So she used to get very frustrated and she used to hate staying inside the house. So if we're at home, she's crying or she's clingy and she's unhappy. But as soon as we go out the door, this kid starts smiling and laughing and giggling away. So I used to return to work after an 8-hour day, pick up my daughter, who I miss so much at childcare, walk into the house, and instead of having a happy little girl ready to play with mama, my girl used to be so sad and so frustrated. So one time I remember saying, listen, I can't play with her. I'm not getting anything done, obviously, with a baby inside of the home. So let's just put her into her pushchair and go for a walk. And that's what we did. And as soon as we got out of the house, Nina started laughing. She was so happy to be outside. And we walked for an hour, went back home. And I don't usually come inside the house. I don't usually take the pushchair inside of the house because the wheels are very dirty and we don't wear shoes in here. And the pushchair is equally, if not as dirty, if not dirtier. But what used to happen was we used to go outside for an hour, walk and walk and walk. We have beautiful countryside here in MJR. We used to watch the horses as well, because there's a few fields with horses and stables next to us. And then when we used to come back, we'd be going up in the lift and going from the ground floor to third floor, she would fall asleep magically. Yes! So I used to come up here. I used to actually bring the pushchair inside of the house, of course. I mean, you know what it's like to have a baby who's suddenly sleeping in the middle of the day. Used to come in, leave her behind the door, go and have a nice shower, and work on getting dinner started or doing something else, or resting if I was tired as well. So after that first trial, this very quickly became part of our routine. So it helped in many ways. First of all, I was spending quality time with Nina because we used to talk while we were walking, talk about the weather and the flowers and nature and the horses and just notice everything that was around us. We used to enjoy the countryside, the fresh air. She used to love it. She used to be so bubbly and happy. I used to get my exercise. We'd come back and she would sleep for about 30 minutes while I could have a shower and, get dinner started. So that was the kind of exercise that I did when Nina was about a year old. So if you've got kids who are very young and they like being outside and you're not getting anything done inside the house as well when they're so little. And anyway, it really forces you to spend quality time with them when you're outside of the house because you just close the door and leave everything behind you. So try it. Put them into their pushchairs and go. Of course, it's still very hot to do it in the afternoon, but you can do it early evening as well. It might help lull your kids into their sleep. But as soon as the weather changes, it's a great idea to do it right after work maybe. And in winter time in the afternoon, it's the perfect time to do something like this. We used to do it in the evening as well, and especially when Nina settled down and she started enjoying her time at home, we switched to evening walks as well. So, as you've been hearing me talk, because I've been going on for a long while now, my exercise routine and me keeping active has really evolved with me. It's gone from trying the gym, which I hated, to running with weights, to air walker, to walking with Nina, to exercise at home, to a few classes here and there, and it's changed. It's changed, and I've made it work for me and my family. So as you've heard, I do quite a lot at home. I do a lot with the kids as well, especially with Nina, because of course she's younger, so she is more active. And I take the odd class as well, and I try to make an effort to move more. For example, if I park the car, of course not in the heat of summer, I admit it, when it's so hot, I cannot walk an extra 30 minutes in the morning. But as soon as the weather is better, I like to park, let's say 10 minutes away from where I'm going. So at least I get a little 10-minute walk as well, and that's a plus. So I don't know if there are any more comments over here. Hello to Christina and Claire and Clara and Helen. And Clara says, I find that a very early morning workout helps me. I found a superstar trainer that, like I always say, believed in me before I even did, and it's magic. I never knew I could be fit, as I never liked sports, and now I'm really into it. And meeting the ladies at 5:30 a.m. wow, for a workout is exciting and empowering. So thanks, Denise Abela. She might be here listening. You sure kicked the lazy out of me. I love that, and I will be forever grateful to you. That's fantastic, Clara. When you find that someone who can really guide you and who can give you that confidence to do whatever it is that you want to do, it makes a whole lot of difference. And Clara's proving that point. So well done, Clara, because although Denise has been guiding you, it's you who has been putting in the work, the time, the effort, and you've been prioritizing it as well. So good on you. So I know that some of you have said, or you've been thinking about it as well. You might say, listen, I'd like to prioritize it, but I'd also like to free up some time in order to be able to do this. So if you feel that you'd like to start prioritizing some exercise, but you'd like to free up some time in order to do it, I'd like you to join my 5-day challenge. Now, yes, it started. Tomorrow is day 4, so we're quite advanced. But the great thing about it is that if you sign up, at the end of it, you will receive a link with a summary of the full challenge, with all of the Facebook Lives, because we're doing Facebook Lives in the group, with all of the recipes that we're batch cooking, with all of the emails, and also you'll get access to the group, which is just amazing. There's so much goodness in there. So I know that there are some moms over here who are in the group. So leave me a comment if you think the group is fantastic, if you're still here. There are over 300 ladies in there, and most of them have been batch cooking and meal planning and freezing their food, and they're going above and beyond what was expected of them. So you will get access to this group. It will close down, yes, because it's a pop-up group, but it will be archived. You will still have access to the information and the recipes and everything, and you will get all of the instructions to be able to follow the challenge on your own. Now, the challenge, I don't even know if I've said what it's called. It's called 5 Days to Quicker Meals. And the aim of it is that you will learn how to cook less, but serve more. It is a fantastic time saver. So if you're intrigued and you want to know more about it, maybe you're not sure if you want to join, you want to see if it's for you, you should go to themamamanual.com/Quicker Meals Challenge. So I'll repeat it again. Go to www.themamamanual.com/Quicker Meals Challenge, and you'll get all of the information inside of the challenge. And if you want to do it at your own pace, you'll need to register on that very page, regardless of if you're subscribed to the blog or not. So that's it for today, ladies. It was fantastic having you here with me. It's always such fun to be live here with you. I'll catch you next Wednesday for another live. In the meantime, take care. Bye.